What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about alt season. So we'll be taking a look over here at the altcoin market cap. We'll look over there, of course, at the Bitcoin price chart, and there's several different altcoins we're going to peek at. We're going to talk about the XRP price chart. We're going to take a peek over there at Shiba Inu, and we'll take a peek over there at the Ethereum price chart, which did just recently set a new all-time high. It's truly an exciting time in the market. As you can even see over here on the total altcoin market cap, there really hasn't been any type of change that has happened here in the altcoin market in the last several days. However, a couple of coins have really taken off. I've put out some longer videos this week explaining how my expectations are that we're going into 5 waves at this point right now for the altcoin market. And as you can see, nothing has really changed this week for the altcoin market, but some stuff has started to take off. So in this video, I really wanted it to be more kind of like a survival guide, or just kind of talk about survival strategies of going into an alt season, because in an alt season, things get extremely chaotic, extremely emotional. Lots of FOMO, lots of fear, lots of panic, lots of worry, lots of excitement, lots of euphoria. And I wanted this to kind of just be more of a one-on-one video. We're just going to chat. We're just going to hang out, and I'm going to kind of talk about what it's been like going through these alt seasons. And I figured it would be a cool video where, hey man, just, grab your cup of coffee, go outside, sit on the front porch, maybe pop in your AirPods or your ear pods and go for a nice walk around a lake, something like that, whatever. I'm just going to really just kind of chat about the things, because I think we need to have kind of an emotional discussion of what it's going to be like going into alt season. The reason I say this is because we're already starting to see a lot of the signs of the emotional volatility within the market. For example, a lot of excitement's happening right now for Shiba Inu. And you know what? Shiba Inu has gone on an incredible ride lately, right? We actually had 4.5 months of accumulation that happened for Shiba Inu, and then the prices surged up over 1,600%. But what happened after it went up 1,600%? Well, at that price point, you can look at the chart. Everybody's a winner. Everybody's in profit. So what do people do? They brag about it on Twitter, and it creates a lot of emotional strife. You have a lot of people who are excited. You have a lot of people who are upset about it. Why? Because they're stuck in other assets that haven't taken off yet. And you know what? That's what alt season is like. And we're going to talk about that going into it, that it is a huge rotation market. And I think this needs to be addressed and just discussed, because I actually talk about this in my course over there on bcbacker.com. I talk a lot in there about percentages mean everything and price does not, and mathematics supporting rebalancing portfolio to increase profit potential. And there's 2 different types of people, and really there's very many more, but we're going to go into it with kind of 2 different mindsets of what happens here. There's people who accumulate during the really boring time period, right? They accumulate for the 4.5 months when this thing is doing nothing, when everybody is screaming, this thing is dead, it's never going to do anything, it's just a piece of junk, it was a one and done, it's game over. There's the people who say, you know what, I know how this market works. If we're going to have a second alt season, I'm going to accumulate down in here and hold on to it and wait for the prices to explode. And then when they explode, I'm going to go sell it. I'm going to make, and they're not going to do it perfectly, right? Let's put it at like a reasonable thing, right? Let's say you kind of got halfway, was your average right down in here. And let's say your average sell, we even put you down a little bit more. Let's say you made 750% on that, right? They accumulate during the boring period. They have the faith that the big surge is going to come. Then they sell into the surge. Their 750% profit. And then they'll take it and they'll shove it into another asset that has been boring, has been low, waiting for something exciting to come again, where a big push comes like we just witnessed on SHIB. But there's another group of people, right? There's people who kind of don't really have a plan and they actually just kind of feel the pain of the market. It's okay to feel the pain in the market. Everybody feels the pain, right? You've made all these investments, you made all these decisions, and if your stuff isn't taken off yet, you look over at other people buying the meme coins and, whatever, man, I get it, dude. I mean, play the market that you have, right? People made money on meme coins by buying at the lows and selling at the tops. Power to them. But the problem is when it gets into profit, everybody will start screaming and exclaiming, hey, look, I'm doing great. And then we start seeing things like this over here on Twitter, right? Man's SHIB would have been worth $1 billion if he held on, right? So while it's not directly saying it, it is actually playing a subconscious role on all of our psychologies, and especially people who are maybe FOMO buying the top. And who knows, it may not be the top of SHIB. There may be another 100% to go. It's already made its way into the top 10 at $36 billion. It had flipped Doge at one point. I mean, if it doubles itself from right now and goes up another 100%, well, that would push it up into number 4 or number 5, bypassing Cardano. Yeah, maybe, temporarily. We saw that happen a lot in the alt season back in 2017. If you don't know this, Verge was like in the top 5, IOTA was in the top 5, Tron was in the top 5. When we go into an alt season, a lot of stuff makes its way all the way up to the top and then crumbles all the way back down to the bottom. And that's kind of one of the really exciting things about alt season, and one of the kind of helpful tips you can kind of look at right there. How far up the list is it going to go? Is it going to flip Ethereum? Do you think it really has a chance to actually flip Ethereum or flip Bitcoin? One of the things I keep seeing right now is SHIB to 1 cent, right? Of course, that would nearly triple the market cap of Bitcoin in order for SHIB to get there. So you'd have to assume SHIB will become the number 1 coin and be 3 times bigger than Bitcoin. And I hear the arguments out there all the time. Yeah, but they're burning supply. They're going to burn supply. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever you want to believe, right? That's fine. I'm not here to tell you what to believe, what not to believe. I'm just telling you my experiences of going through alt seasons. But in the end, we see things like this and they subconsciously affect us. We see that this man had SHIB, and if he had held on to it, he would now have $1 billion. We also see over there on Twitter that there's also this story out there. It's been shared by a lot of the news stories out there. There's an account out there that invested $8,000 in SHIB, and it's now worth like $4.7 or $5.7 billion. And all of us, we think to ourselves subconsciously, I want to be that guy. I want to hit that massive home run, not just home run, grand slam, not just a grand slam, but like a grand slam after a grand slam after a grand slam to be able to get those types of returns. Subconsciously, we think that to ourselves. And what do we say to ourselves? How do we have to do that? Buy SHIB, hold on for dear life, don't let go. Don't make the same mistakes this guy made. Now, of course, these stories come out after the prices have already risen 1,600%. So let's say that the prices are going to rise 1,600% again. That means even just from right here, we won't even take it from the top, but if we go up 1,600%, we've got to get where? Oh boy, way up here. And if we go up 1,600%, we have to add 16 times to the market cap of what it already is, which would put the market cap of Shiba Inu at over $600 billion. So if it flipped Ethereum. So this is why I talk about why mathematics matter so much to me. Awesome gains were made in SHIB. There's no question about it. There's a big accumulation period. It was fantastic time to invest in it if you got it. And if you rode the ride up, cool. However, buying it now, expecting those same types of returns, are going to require some pretty interesting things to happen. You're going to have to flip Ethereum to just do what it's already done. If you want it to go to 1 cent, you need it to triple the market cap of Bitcoin. Now, I can tell you through previous alt seasons, whenever altcoins or ones that were like in the number 50 spot, which is where SHIB was about number 50 before it went on this run, there were no circumstances where those types of coins were able to flip Ethereum or flip Bitcoin during an alt season. It's never happened. I'm not saying this to do on Shiba Inu. It's exciting to see this happening in the market. These are the things we want to see because these give us early indications of what's happening in the market. The problem with this is these are what we call the leaders. And the reality is back in April and in May, we had a lot of meme coins take off, right? So you have a big psychology problem that's going on in the market right now where a lot of people commenting on my tweets, commenting on my videos are saying, I'm having this sinking feeling that there's not going to be an alt season that happens and that the only things that are going to take off are going to be meme coins. Essentially capitulating on everything they've ever believed and feeling a FOMO tendency that if they don't jump into meme coins, they're going to get left behind. And that is a normal feeling in alt season. Because these percentages that we see on the screen are not baby percentages. These are life-changing percentages. These are percentages that you'll never make in the stock market. But the reality of it is, as we witnessed in the recent pullback in Bitcoin and the altcoin market, this is the most volatile market in the world. And these pullbacks, these falls that will eventually come for coins that do things like this, will also leave a lot of people very broke. And having lived through alt seasons, This will actually be the third one that I've been through. I mean, if you want to count April, we can call it the fourth one. But I was there during the May and June alt season of 2017 and there through, the November and December of 2017. I've been through the whole bear market. I learned a lot of lessons and made a lot of mistakes there in June of 2017. Still made some mistakes there in November and December of 2017, but made massive improvements to what I was doing and having significantly better results. And then I was able to fine tune it and have a very good plan and recognize that what happens in alt season is emotional insanity. This coin goes flying, that coin goes flying, that coin goes flying, and everybody is hooting and hollering all over Twitter and screaming how much money they've made. They're doing super fantastic. It's not too late. You can still get in. And meanwhile, you're sitting there and your bags are saying still. You're just like, what? Why is this not moving? I'm going to get left behind. But history has shown differently. History has shown everything eventually goes. Now, of course, we can never suspect it. We have to just wait. But if we go based on history, we can clearly see everything has a tendency to go. And this is the market cap of Ethereum right up in here. And I'm comparing a bunch of other charts in here. I've got the XRP price chart or the XRP market cap. I've got Litecoin, Dogecoin, Dash, Zcash, EOS, Tron, IOTA, Verge, Sia Coin, New Economy Movement. Some of these you guys have maybe never heard of, and you probably haven't even heard of this one unless you were here in 2017, but Steam. Steam was very popular in 2017. You probably never even heard of it now. All of these, right? Everything went during alt season. Everything pushed up. The thing is, not all of them take off at exactly the same time. You have leaders and you have laggards. So when I look at things and see SHIB taking off and see Elon Coin, Flocky or Floki, whatever these things are, right? I get excited because I say, hey, man, we're right on the verge of starting. I've literally been taking it on the chin for the last 2 weeks for saying, I think the top of Bitcoin is almost in and alt season's ready to start and that this chart is lined up. And I did the Elliott wave count on Monday showing that, you know what? It looks like the craziness is coming to the altcoin market, taking it on the chin. And hey, what do you know, man? We've got a couple of them starting to go already. And without the market cap even breaking out. So it's nothing but rotation that's happening to make these things go, right? People are FOMOing out of assets into other assets. So I started this earlier by saying, like, there's two different kinds of people, right? There's the people in here who are going to, get their 750% or whatever. They're going to ride, they're going to accumulate during the boring time periods, let the thing surge, take their 750%, and then jam it down into another asset that's low, and then try to do it all over again by compounding and exponentially rising what they've already returned. However, there's another group of people, and that's the ones that just most likely aren't going to make it in this market. And I know this from going through several different alt seasons, and I know this by personally making this mistake back in my first alt season, is that there's excitement everywhere. Twitter is hooting and hollering, lots of new people pouring in here. Everybody's part of a movement, they're part of something, and what do? They do the exact opposite. They will sell out of the things that are down here and they will buy these things after they've already risen. They've already missed the majority of the run. If they want to get an equivalent run to what has already happened, it has to flip Ethereum. That's a big monumental thing that has to happen in order to be able to do that. And like I just showed you on these market cap charts from back in 2017 in both bull runs, any of these lower coins stood no chance to get up near Ethereum. There was only one coin capable of doing it, and it was XRP, and it did it twice. Otherwise, nothing else was capable of even coming close to the market cap of Ethereum. But that's what they need to occur. They have to capitulate on their low-performing assets, saying those will never take off. The only thing that's going to take off in this market is going to be the meme coins. And really, we're just using meme coins because that's what's available right now. But this behavior will occur for the remainder of the alt season. People will not run the math on it to understand they've now sacrificed an opportunity for a rise to chase something that has already risen. Let's pretend this thing just fires off and it just keeps going and it's like awesome like this, right? Well, that would be pretty cool. What kind of rise are you looking at right there? You're looking at 182%. The problem is the thing that they sold at the bottom, if it wants to do the similar move of what's already happened, the percentage opportunity is already there. So you have to make this decision in your head and say, am I going to capitulate on the idea that the one that's low is not going to do what this one did. And it's a big mental gymnastics and hula hoops and all kinds of craziness that goes on in people's minds on what are they going to do, right? And like I said, it's two different types of people. It's the people who accumulate during the boring periods, let the prices rise, sell those off, jam them down into another asset that looks like that and let it repeat itself. Or there's the people who sell out of down here and then they go chase something that's already up here, even after the rise has already happened. And the problem with this type of thing is that you end up making a mistake. You end up kind of panicking yourself because let's pretend you bought it up here. Oh, you just watched the price move down 34%. Now still down 20%. It gets kind of chaotic in here. And then it leads to a series of more bad mistakes. Now what's the problem, right? Let's say that you sold something, and we're not just using XRP. It doesn't matter if it's XRP, it doesn't matter if it's anything. But you sold something. You got in here, and then boom, you instantly lost 20%. Then you say, wait a minute, this was a bad idea. Then you go back to your original asset. You have less of your original asset than what you had. And then there becomes this other problem. There's this other problem. Now you're mad at yourself. Now you're like, dude, I just made a mistake. I'm upset. I'm frustrated that I made this mistake. Now I have to find a way to make up for it because I just lost some. I have to make up for this. I have to do some other kind of trade that's going to make up for this because I'm upset that I even did this in the first place. And then what will happen? It's very possible, right? It's very possible. Then Shiba Inu rises or something like that. And you go, no, no. Trying to chase green candles, especially in these highly volatile moments, can cause a lot of chaos, a lot of it, man. But on my channel, you're going to have to understand where I'm going to come from. I'm not going to be the guy who's saying, this is the next one to chase. This is the next one to chase. This is the one to get in. And then hooting and hollering over 50% gains on some meme coin or something crazy. That's not what I do on this channel, right? I'm not going to give you trade calls. I'm not going to tell you the assets to buy. I'm not going to tell you the assets to sell. I merely provide my perspective on the market. We went through this whole pullback with Bitcoin. Things have played out the way I've expected them to. What altcoins are starting to take off, that's to be expected. You know what? I bet within the next week or two, there's going to be some crazy news that impacts the market. Why? Because Bitcoin's price chart is set up for that to happen, massively impact the altcoins in a positive way. But I can already tell that once we finally get deep into this alt season, a lot of people are not going to like me. And it's not going to be because I change anything that I do. I'm going to keep doing things exactly the same way that I always do them. But what we're starting to witness is a lot of emotional volatility out there. Multiple different things, right? You could see all these people who've, questionable whether or not they've invested into some type of Ponzi scheme. When people call them out on that or provide them with data to present the argument that they are invested in a Ponzi scheme, what do? They lash back. People are also frustrated out there watching things like this occur with Shiba Inu taking off and their assets aren't moving. They're getting emotionally volatile. They're getting emotionally impatient, specifically with XRP. I've told this story many times on my channel that during this time period in 2017, that when Bitcoin was taking off, Bitcoin was at 17,000 right here. Ethereum was near its top. Litecoin was near its top, and XRP hadn't moved yet. It was the most toxic time in the XRP world at this time period right in here. And when you can even see right in there is right before it came to its ending phase, and I'll line this thing up the best that I can because we're unbelievably looking kind of similar and seeing similar behavior from a sentiment perspective, is that there was like an ABC in here. And I remember it very clearly. I remember what it was like. And it was the second leg, this one right in here where the capitulation happened. And you can feel that coming very soon in the market. If XRP has one more dip to do down, imagine this, right? Imagine if XRP dips one more time and let's say it goes down to, I don't know, 91 cents or something like that. And imagine if Shiba Inu doubles itself and goes up 100% at that exact same time. You can already see what's going to happen because we're setting up and the sentiment and everything is just like that. It's just like all the people investing in nodes and doing whatever they're doing and marketing that to the XRP community only. All the different altcoins that we always have that are marketed just towards the XRP community, you can see the capitulation coming in sentiment. It's almost there. And if that thing does do one more dip, and if Shiba Inu fires up 100% more, you can see so many people are at their breaking point. And you can just see it by the comments in there. All the people fearing that it's just going to be a meme coin alt season. And you can have your own opinions about Justin Sun, but he's a big marketing guy. He's, the head of Tron. on. And he does get it. He does get what's going on in this market. And he had posted this tweet yesterday. It said, "Few understand," as he retweeted this, where it says, "I hung out with Justin Sun a couple of weeks ago, and he mentioned the meme coin pump in May was a bearish signal, but that the meme coin pump in October will be a bullish signal, and that few can tell the difference. I tend to believe him." And what we've been talking about all week is that the market cap of the altcoin market moving up and we counting the waves, showing where we're at. And this meme coin pump has happened without the market cap even breaking up. It's just a rotation happening within the market. People selling off some stuff to chase other stuff. We haven't even had a breakout happen in here yet. And that's super exciting. And also this week, I released a very long video about XRP, comparing how things played out when Bitcoin was at a certain phase within 2017, and that it was when it pulled back in here. That's when XRP was able to take off and start surging. And as we know, XRP surged as Bitcoin continued up. And then as Bitcoin went down and began its crash, XRP still continued to go up. And then as Bitcoin went into its retrace, XRP continued going up. So 41-minute video outlining that, going into super detail this week. And yet we haven't even had this phase yet. But you see a lot of people thinking nothing's going to take off. We're at the end, run for the hills, got to chase the meme coins. And it's unfortunate we're saying meme coins because I don't have anything against meme coins. That's exactly what happens in alt season, man. A lot of garbage, a lot of stuff that has no utility, no value whatsoever takes off. That happens in every alt season. It just got deemed meme coins this year, which is probably better than what we used to call them. We used to call them S coins. Now we just call them meme coins. I guess it's more TV friendly to talk about them in that light. But the point I'm really trying to make is that this is going to go on throughout all of alt season, is that suddenly something else is going to go. I mean, it's just going to start firing off like a rocket ship. We'll see that same stuff. We see 1,000% rise over there on something that nobody expected. And as time goes on and on, people get frustrated, people get emotionally unstable, and then people sell off their stuff at the lows and they go buy stuff at the highs. It is your portfolio. You are welcome to do whatever you want. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just showing you the mistakes that people make a lot. And I've lived through several alt seasons and I've made these mistakes before. But the reality is, at the end of every one of my videos, when I'm talking about bcbacker.com, I say, I talk about mathematics and percentages and why those are so important to me. There's a lot of stuff in my course I could say that I talk about. We talk about stop losses. We talk about rebalancing. We talk about this, that. There's a lot of educational content in the course, but I always say, talk about setting up charts. I teach you how to go set up TradingView, teach you how to set up CoinTrader Pro. I talk about my personal exit plans. And then the only other thing I highlight in there is mathematics and percentages and why those are so important to me. There is a very clear difference in the mathematics of the people who have the capability to figure out how to play the market. And if there's 3 different coins, and if all of them are going to go on a run, you have to walk into it with the presumption that the bubble will eventually pop. Why? Because they always do. You cannot go into it with the presumption that this time is different, and they won't. If XRP goes on a massive surge up to $10 to $13, you know what my presumption is? It's going to fall afterwards. What's my presumption on Bitcoin after going up to almost a 4.236 extension? It's going to fall eventually. And what's my presumption on Ethereum? Any altcoin, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it's a meme coin or the best coin in the entire world. If it goes on an explosive rise, I presume that it's eventually going to fall. And if we take a look at the charts and we say they can all go up 1,000%, we just give up kind of some silly numbers here. We'll just say they're all going to go up 1,000%. And if you own 3 of them and you buy them all down in here, right? And one of them takes off and it gets all the way up to here and it's risen up 500%. What does it mean if there's 500% up? That means there's only 100% remaining. If you can't understand that simple math right there, that there's only 100% remaining after it's gone up 500% for a 1,000% rise, you're not doing the math. And if you sell out of these assets down in here and you go chase them and jam them in here, the opportunity is only 100% remaining to the upside. Whereas all of these had 1,000%. So if you had $100, $100, and $100, and then you sell these off and take your $200 and jam it in here, well, then it's going to rise. And then, well, you know what? You better hope you time the top perfectly and you hope you sell out of it perfectly. I can tell you, I'm not going to be timing tops perfectly. I'm not going to be selling tops perfectly at all. But you better hope that you do. What's the other thing that you could do, right? You have your $100 and then it rises up 500%. That leaves you with $600, right? Then what do? You say, forget this thing, I'm out of here. Let's go split it up between these two guys and I'll add an extra 300 in here. Then what happens? You compound, you exponentially grow the gains. Now, you're going to have to make good picks, right? You're going to have to make the ones, you're going to have to pick the right ones that are going to go up. We don't know which ones are going to go up perfectly. We can make our best educated guesses, but we don't know which ones. But if you can't understand that this model right in here and how the math works in here, and if you're selling out of these things and you're going and jamming them up in here when the rise has already occurred, you haven't done any math. And for me, I absolutely don't use this strategy where I sell out of these things and go jam them into the stuff that's already risen. For me personally, the strategy that I use is that I know that these things can rise and they can fall. And if one of them rises up really high, I will cut it out and I will jam it back into these guys and sit around and wait again. One of them rises up, boom, I'm out. I go jam it into the next one. And that's my strategy because I compound. I'm not going to sell it perfectly. I am not going to hit the top perfectly. I am most likely going to sell too early. But it doesn't matter to me because I pay attention to the mathematics and the percentages. I look at things like this and I say, Shiba Inu, if it's going to rise significantly higher, what would happen if it goes up 100% more from where it's at right now? It would then flip Cardano. Is that possible? I think that could happen. I think it's possible. Could it flip Ethereum? No, I don't think it's possible. History has shown nothing can ever come close to catching up to Ethereum except for XRP. And so while we're in this particular moment right now, and that these particular meme coins that did well in April are suddenly the only ones to really go exploding right now, even though Ethereum did set a new all-time high yesterday, a lot of fear in the market right now is nothing's going to go except for these. And I don't have a choice because right now I have to make some type of decision right now. Either I am going to sell out of everything and go buy these meme coins that have already risen over 1,000%, because they're the only things that are going to take off, or I have to sit back patiently in this pain, hoping that everything else will take off. I've put in years of research, I've studied, I've made my decisions, I got into my coins, but now at the last second, I fear that I have to sell out of everything because I was wrong about everything, and the only thing that's going to go is the meme coins. That type of emotional chaos is going to continue throughout the remainder of the alt season. It's a highly rotating market. And as one reaches up super high and everybody believes it has to continue going super higher and everybody sells off everything, goes buys that one, that's going to be the top of that one. Then what's going to happen? The one everybody sold is then going to start taking off. And then they're going to abandon the one that they were in. And then they'll go chase the one that they used to be in that's now taking off. And then they're mad and they're upset. And they've got to make up for this, right? They've got to make up for the big mistake that they just made. And then they've got to jump to the next one because they've made this big mistake and they got to make up for that one too. And then they got to jump to a next one. Earlier this week, I said it becomes a frenzy. That's the best term I can use to explain it. It becomes chaotic. It becomes emotional. It becomes volatile. People super mad that their assets aren't taking off yet, watching other things taking off, making huge mistakes, selling something and then chasing something else and buying it at the top, and then the one that they were in then takes off. It becomes crazy. And so I said earlier in this video, people aren't going to like me, right? And it's because there's going to be so much emotional instability in the market during the alt season, and I'm just going to stay true to my plan of what I've always had. I've got my assets. I'm patient. The market shows that everything has a tendency to go. So I've picked my ones that I think have the best chance to do that. And I've lived through multiple alt seasons before. And I've described for years on this YouTube channel what it was like during this moment before XRP took off back in 2017, where the price just exploded and how negative sentiment was at that time. And that Bitcoin was at $17,000, Ethereum was at an all-time high, Litecoin was at an all-time high, and you were essentially a dingus for still sitting around holding XRP at that time. People think it was easy to get that. It wasn't easy to get this big explosive rise because there was so much negativity right before it happened. And with what's going on in the market right now, we're seeing the similar signs. But the reality is, everything is massively exciting for the whole market right now. Ethereum is at a new all-time high right now. You could see it has just cleared the all-time high right now. But there you go. The alert on the other chart showed up at the exact same time. It's an exciting time that's coming right now. And there will be a lot of people who just capitulate on certain things and chase other things, and it's going to be chaotic. And I just kind of wanted to lay that all out there, that what we're seeing happening right now will continue, and it'll get on steroids of how crazy it will be on Twitter. Everybody's shilling whatever they're in that's going to be doing really well, things that you're not in, things that I'm not in, whatever it is to be the next one to pump. Who knows what the next one's going to be to pump in the order of operations and how they work for specific coins. In the end, there's thousands of coins out there. For me personally, it's impossible for me to be in every single coin, right? There's going to be lots of them that take off that I'm not going to be in, but I go into it with the mindset of what alt seasons have been like before. And hopefully, I do have some of them that are going to be the first ones to go. I have actually had that opportunity if you've followed along with the YouTube channel that, I was in Cardano, in Ethereum, in Bitcoin, had an opportunity to rotate a lot of those into the lower ones, right? Rode the wave way high with those and then sold them 65% and rotated them down lower to try to compound my returns. And as this goes on, there will be more leaders, there will be more taking off. And if history repeats itself, there's going to be a point where they're just all going at that point and everything is high. And we can do a lot of psychological hula hoops and jumps and twists and turns and psychological gymnastics on ourselves to make us believe one way or another. But I'm going to tell you very clear what my belief is. I go into it with patience. I go into it with a waiting mindset, and I play my cards of somebody who does not chase green candles. I do not chase green candles. I sell green candles. I buy boring, low assets. I'm the guy who gets in down here, and I'm the guy who sells out here. So get your popcorn ready because it's going to be wild. But I figured I'd throw all those things out there and just show you some of the stuff that goes on in the market because I understand the psychology and I'm seeing the comments on my videos and I'm seeing the comments on my tweets of a lot of people already starting that FOMO feeling of that they're going to get left behind if they don't go chase something. You're free to do whatever you want to do. I am not your financial advisor, but I will definitely tell you my mindset and how I do things for myself. Who will be the winner? We'll all find out at the end. But you better believe I plan on being it. So, all right, guys, that'll wrap it up for this one. It has been a big week full of long videos. I took yesterday off. I posted that on Twitter. I posted that in the community section of my YouTube channel that I was taking yesterday off because my videos have been so long. You guys have seemed to enjoy those. So here's another long one for you as we head into the end of the week. The weekend's going to be exciting. We'll have our market update put out there on October 31st. I'll talk about that here in a brief second. But anyway, I wanted to go into it and just kind of outline that for you guys on what my mindset is like as we go into alt season. There will be tons of emotional instability out there. There will be lots of FOMO chasing and the feeling of getting left behind all over the place. I personally never cave into any of those types of thoughts. I'm the type of person who sells green candles and buys boring assets. I'm not the type of person to sell my boring assets to buy green candles. So if you're looking for something different than that, you know what, man? There's lots of other YouTube channels out there. Go for it. But in the end, I'm confident I'm going to be the winner. So all right, guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up this one. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. It's really exciting in the market that we have a lot of things happening with Ethereum breaking out into an all-time high and the beginning of some altcoins taking off. These are the things and the signs that we've been looking for. It's really exciting. So I hope you're doing well. Maybe the weekend will be crazy. I totally fully intend to take tomorrow off, but you never know, man. I'm not good at holding to my word on that kind of stuff. Sometimes a video does come, but we'll see. All right, I'm wrapping it up. I'm done. Happy end of the week. The video is way too long. All right, if you're looking for something to do, you can check out my website over here. It's bcbacker.com. This is a course that I put together where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the different altcoin seasons, tying them all together. I show you how those alt seasons have worked in the past. I teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. I talk about my personal exit plans in here, and I talk a lot about mathematics and why that's so important to me, mathematics and percentages. I do have market updates in here. The most recent one is on September 30th. That's available to anybody enrolled in the course and anybody newly enrolled in the course. And there will be another market update added there on October 31st. So in 2 days from today. And you can check out all of this educational content over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.